Okay, good.
All right. So, Sarah and I are here on behalf of our PBIS team. We
co-chair.
we co-facilitate.
Co-do it.
There are about 25 other people that are on our committee who gather once a month, go through our needs, and we just thought it'd be really helpful. We made some significant changes this year, so we thought it'd be pretty cool to let you know what those are.
Yeah, and we also were able to attend the PBIS training over
Summer school.
Yes, it was at summer. The Minnesota PBIS training. We went to a day. It was like June. It was after the very last day of school.
The first day of summer break.
First day of summer break, and it was great. So we loved it and had a lot of great ideas for this year. So we were kind of curious if I know it was on the agenda, but if many of you know what PBIS is.
I do.
There's so many acronyms. We love acronyms. Well, it stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Support. So, break that down. We're really trying to just positively put things in place and support the kids as like an intervention there, expectation-wise, proactively, school-wide. So that is what we do. You can go home and ask your students if they know what PBIS stands for. Our mission: we believe all students are capable and can be effectively taught appropriate and successful behavior. We believe optimal student achievement can be attained and supported by utilizing a proactive systems approach and consistent expectations. We know these kids are capable. They are amazing, and we want to make sure that they know they are worth it to show it. And we want to give them that buy-in and know that that's our expectation for everybody. And consistent expectations for them. Our purpose, what we do, is we're committed to creating and sustaining a positive learning environment where everyone is kind, safe, and ready.
Last year we kind of sent out an informal survey to all of our staff and kind of got some feedback. And for this year we wanted to focus on 3 core things, and those 3 things are consistency, our expectations, and build a community among Meadowbrook, both our staff and our student body.
So, to address those, some of the things that we've done is we kind of revamped our matrices, or our matrix areas, to have school-wide common expectations and encourage school pride and ownership. We have a lot of kids in our school, and we have a lot of traffic in the hallway. So we wanted to make sure that it's still a calming place, and that kids see that sometimes there's learning happening in the hallway. And that we want to be able to have our doors open while learning's happening in our classrooms. So we said, you know what, let's just be clear, 0 hallway voices. We know we can do it. It's a quick transition. For safety reasons, kind of safe and ready, we wanted to make sure that we knew why students were in the hallways. So we have hallway passes. It has, we have a picture of that coming up. And excuse me, that also encourages community, because I can see who you are. You are my student too. You go to Meadowbrook. I know you can be and show Meadowbrook expectations. We also did some things in the lunchroom to support those behaviors and make sure that we have systems in place before any kind of questionable things happen. So these are some pictures of our new matrices that will be going up. We have each grade level kind of adopted a different area. We have learning environment, the cafeteria, bus pickup, hallway, bathroom, I'm missing some, cafeteria, recess. And so for each area, one of the grade levels kind of got to be the showing how to do it. They're the experts. And then we have our ways that we show the kind, safe, ready behavior. So those we are hoping to get put up probably in 2019.
So soon.
This is kind of what Sarah's talking about. This one right here is our flip chart in the lunchroom. Kids are more often more visual, and when you have 100 kids in one room, it's really loud. They have the opportunity to see this color chart that sits on the end of their table, and it is flipped to green if you're at an appropriate noise level, and the new now repairs think that you're great. If there's a behavior that needs to be checked, it might get flipped to the yellow. That kind of gives you the message of, oh boy, what's going on? And if it gets flipped to red, it's kind of like the last straw. And the following day we put them in a seating chart designed by their teacher, just so they can have that, they know what's coming, to reset. And then the following day we just go back at it and we start back on green. We try not to flip to red. We like to give chances and reminders and we get there. On the other side is the hall pass. So every staff member had four.
Depending on needs.
Yeah. And so they're identified by the last name of the teacher or the staff member. So that when they are in the hallway, if they're running, they can say, oh my gosh, you belong to Mrs. Gleason. You're in Mrs. Gleason's class. And so does she know that you're going to be running through the hallway? So it's an easy, identifiable way to see who kids belong to. And again, builds that community that you might belong to Mrs. Gleason, but we're all going to take care of each other. And so that was a thought behind hall passes.
And I feel like they've been going great.
It's part of the routine now.
It's routine. It's great. You can say, "Why don't you have a pass? Where are you supposed to be? Oh my goodness! Does your teacher know where you are?" And so I've really enjoyed it. The kids seem to like it. They're on lanyards, so that's fancy. Also, we have established monthly traits, which was part of our gratitude assembly today. We, as a PBIS kind of subcommittee, sent out a survey asking which, out of all of these traits, which do we think are most important or valuable for our Meadowbrook student. So out of those, we took 9, and we designated 3 of them to the kind trait, 3 of them to what safety is, and 3 of them to ready, because we talk so much about being kind, safe, and ready, but what does that look like? What does it look like to be kind? That's a really big word. Like, that encompasses a lot. So what we did was we chose these traits to help define our expectations, have a shared goal, shared language, shared expectations. We know what it means to be kind, safe, and ready through these. So kindness has 3, empathy, gratitude, and cooperation. So September was cooperation. And then now we're back to kind again, gratitude. Safe, self-control, responsibility, and integrity. And then ready, grit, assertion, and curiosity. So each month it goes kind, safe, ready. Kind, safe, ready. So we had cooperation in September. We had responsibility in October. And in November we had grit, sorry. Just got done today. So then at the end of that rotation, we did a spirit week. And that's why we had that spirit week. And we'll do 2 more throughout the year as we get done with each kind, safe, ready rotation. So that also transferred into golden tickets. We also did some survey and looked at some data with golden tickets and how are they being used? What is their purpose? Is it consistent? And it was kind of open-ended. So we really wanted to look at that and say, okay, we want to give every student the same chance to show this above and beyond behavior for them. What does that look like for them? And we wanted to tie it into the traits, and we just really wanted to make it a big deal and use them as a school-wide currency instead of classroom. So it's more of a school-wide. So we also really wanted to celebrate when they get them and why. Because just for kind, safe, and ready, well, what were you doing? Why? That's an amazing thing that you got it. So we've revamped that that intervention, and the golden tickets now have the traits. They can earn them at any time, not just during the month. Like if you cooperate in May, you can still get it. It's not like, well, September's over, no more cooperation tickets. And then we write on there, and they're put up by Mrs. Sawatsky's office, and all the staff can come to the golden ticket pancakes, and we just really wanted to make it something that was special and consistent, and again, that common language.
With the big writing space, what we wanted is, last year we were seeing a lot of kids coming through for golden pancakes, and we say, oh my gosh, what did you do? How did you get your golden ticket? And they say, I don't know. And so being able to provide this space to write exactly what it is, so now when they're coming through and they say, oh my gosh, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, it's really cool to see them recognize and be able to acknowledge like what they did and how they were part of our community and why they earned this specific ticket.
We just wanted it to be more equitable with it too.
Monthly assemblies. So we, as a part of our PBIS committee, we have some subcommittees, and our assembly committee is our music teachers, so Andy, Karen, and Marie, and they have did an incredible job. Last year we kind of started with just lining kids up, and they looked at the format and how can everybody see. So they've transformed it. I think Sarah has a video of today's assembly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Every assembly is geared towards that trait of the month.
okay. But so, let's see if I can get that.
And the sixth graders were leading them. And they did really well.
So all the kids have learned this tempo and these beats.
And then they get to come together, and again, in the community, get
Those are the
to
six
celebrate it.
So they're like sleigh rides. I don't know. I just thought that was.
Kept changing. It was
Yeah.
very cute.
I thought it was pretty magical because I was like, what? How did they all know this? Like it was a flash mob, kind of. I thought that was cool. And then this is the different kids. I'm sorry for the sound, but different kids from each grade level were sharing what they were they had gratitude for. So usually with the assemblies, they'll have the kind of come in, they'll introduce it, and then talk about whatever the trait is, show some sort of student spotlight, and we end with the school song. But this was our first time with the sixth graders hosting it.
It's going to be a lot more student-led. That's what we're hopeful for. Is that Meadowbrook is about them, and so we want them to lead it. We want them to kind of take charge of it.
They were much more engaged.
Yep.
An entire one sixth grade section greeted the people at the door. They were the MCs. They did the whole thing. And
It was
not
amazing.
the next time it'll be different. And plus, they're writing the background beats for the school
Yeah, they're
song.
redoing that.
No.
Yeah. It's incredible to see a student body of our size come together, have this common expectation that this is what we do, this is how it goes, and
And celebrate it.
Yeah.
Like the pride, it's just amazing.
It was so cool this afternoon. The teachers, there was a video of teachers talking about what they were grateful
Yeah.
for. And when Mr. Kennedy, the new media person, came up for what he was grateful for, suddenly the entire audience was doing this. Not a word from the kids,
Yep.
but everybody was just like doing sign language applause for him while he was talking. It was very cool. And then other teachers were getting, little, but it was just like hands in the air like this for Mr. Kennedy.
Because
It was-
everybody
it was
knows,
so
everybody
sweet.
sees them and what we have in common, and the fact they can do it. They were amazing.
Nobody told them. Just suddenly there were just hands everywhere.
But they can sit there and they can appreciate
Mhm.
what's going on in school. There's just, and then we're coming out of those. I think it was responsibility. We were coming out of them, and we had just had a skit about hallway behavior and what not to and what, which is always fun. And so we could all just use the same language coming out of that. Well, this is Meadowbrook. This is how we act. So, as far as a staff perspective, it's been just magical to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
I already kind of talked about that. So we did do Spirit Week. We will do 2 more Spirit Weeks, and I believe the last one one of them will be tied into I Love to Read Week as well.
No, we're just like a book character.
Yep. So those will be the same week.
I have to start planning.
It's fun. Kids like it when we make fools of ourselves and dress up too.
It's a good house assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
This is everybody on our team. So come together.
We pretty much have every grade level. We have support specialists, counselors, Spanish, music,
Special ed.
paras.
That's PBIS.